to the Singapore Botanic Gardens. This is the first and only tropical botanical gardens on a UNESCO World Heritage List, and it was founded in 1859. Today, it is being managed by the National Parks Board and a statutory board of the Singapore government. It is protected under the Parks and Trees Act. Welcome to the Rainforest Trail. The rainforest provides us with many services, such as regulating and provisioning services. It is also an important source of food, medicine, and raw materials. This is the rattan. It is most commonly used in furniture and handicraft, with many hooks along its stem, helping it to grasp onto other plants for support. This is the upper and outermost layer, called the topsoil. It is about 5 to 20 cm tall. Recently, the Cross Island Line, which will be a new train line in Singapore, will pass through about 1 kilometre of some of the oldest regrowth forests in Singapore. Before construction, there will be core drilling of boreholes up to 70 metres deep to investigate the suitability of the construction. This will cause severe damage to the top layer, as bringing equipment into the forest will lead to the compaction of the topsoil, and it will lead to water being harder to flow through, which will lead to processes such as decomposition being not able to occur. The introduction of toxic materials and loud noise from construction activities will also lead to the destruction of habitats from ground animals such as snakes and frogs.
So one of the ways that governments and policymakers try to limit their impact on the environment is by conducting an environmental impact assessment. What an EIA does is that it tries to weigh the different benefits and costs that is being done on a particular project. One of the problems with EIAs is that sometimes they are not being made transparent. Transparent EIAs help to ensure that the government and their various projects are environmentally sustainable and friendly to the environment.
It's the Callophylum. It can be used for medicinal or pharmaceutical properties. It can be traditionally boiled or drunk 3 days after childbirth. I would like to bring in the issue of bioprospecting, which is a search for commercially valuable compounds, such as medicinal properties in plants and animals. In India, there are medicinal trees called neem trees which has antifungal properties. A multinational company patented a pesticide based on neem, but this patent was appealed against. The issue was that there was already traditional indigenous knowledge to produce valuable medicinal products. The European Patent Office agreed that this process for which the patent has been granted has actually been in use for India for over 2,000 years. The MNC has done is called biopiracy, which is the unfair acquisition of knowledge with the absence of fair sharing of profits deriving from the plants and animals. Under normal circumstances, a patent application should always be rejected if there is prior existing knowledge about the product. The problem was that in the US, prior existing knowledge is only recognized if it is published in a journal, not if it has been passed down through generations of folk and oral traditions.
So this is the sea apple. Its bark serves as a fire retardant, and therefore it can be used as a fire containment measure. Previously, what farmers would do is that they will plant sea apple around the perimeters of where they want to set their forest fires in, such that it will not exceed this perimeter. So this is the gelatong tree. It is part of the Heritage Tree Scheme, which advocates the conservation of Singapore's mature trees. HSBC started the Heritage Tree Fund, and the money in it goes towards constructing lightning protection for trees and promoting awareness for conservation. The scheme extends tree conservation beyond 2 green spaces in Singapore, and it has been officially demarcated as the tree conservation areas in both the Changi and Central region. The Heritage Tree Scheme that is managed by national parks are protected under the Parks and Trees Act. Consequently, the felling of mature trees in Singapore is not allowed and is subject to a fine of up to 50,000 Singapore dollars. This strangling fig is critically endangered because it can only be pollinized by specialized fig wasps. These fig wasps, unfortunately, are dependent on the tree for survival, but fumigation, which have been used to kill insects, have been indiscriminately killing these specialized fig wasps. It indicates the delicate ecosystem balance. When one species is affected, others will be affected too. Beside me is the Meranti tree. The Meranti tree is critically endangered in Singapore. Interestingly, no other seedling has been found in Singapore. This seems to suggest that the tree has been slowly dying off. A major issue has led to the critical endangerment of trees, and that is the illegal wildlife trade. A case law is opposite here. The accused, Mr. Hwang, was accused of importing Madagascan rosewood into Singapore, which is illegal. Deadwood serves as an important habitat to support organisms such as termites. It is the responsibility of ant parks to cut down trees before they pose dangers to visitors. In the natural world, these trees will normally fall by themselves. However, when the trees fall, it is not the end of the tree's life. This is because it allows sunlight to enter into the lower area of the forest and allow new trees to grow, thereby starting the whole cycle again.
As a member of the Environmental Law Students Association, we take pride in researching the plants available in the Rainforest Trail and linking them to law and policy. I hope you have enjoyed your experience here. Thank you very much.
See you again!